Welcome. I'm Celia Moriarty, and I want to help you find the creative projects that have a spark of energy for you, that you can engage in and be driven, that you'll love, because there are those projects and it's a matter of finding them, and I want to help you do that. Normally, you know that I'm an artist who would be giving you a demonstration of how to paint either portraits or Australian native flora. But today we're going to take a step back and look at, before you get involved in the project or the medium you might use, what are your actual drivers? You see, I've heard artists say so many times, all sorts of people, oh, I don't know what to paint next. I don't know what to do. Should I be working with pastels? Should I be working with oils? They're really lost. And I have to admit, I don't say much because I don't identify with what they're saying. You see, I know exactly what I want to paint and what I want to do. There's just so much I can't get to it all because I found my thing, and that energizes me and gives me purpose. And I want you to have that. Now, it may be that you're not even creating the work yourself. I had a phone call from a friend who was saying he wanted to buy a painting and he really loved one of my paintings, and he was also looking at signed copies from masters of, signed prints. And I was listening to all the different things that he was looking at buying, and they were so disparate. No wonder he was confused. He really didn't know what was the art he was looking for because he didn't know himself what was the driver. We all want to have things on our walls that we enjoy, but also that express who we are. So this will also help you with that, or maybe even help your collectors. So I have been for over 20 years a communication facilitator. So it is my work and expertise to understand how to help others and show them how to get an insight into working with other people by understanding more about how they communicate. And of course, art is communication. The artist's role is to help us make sense of the world, the pain, the confusion, the beauty. The artist helps us understand that and see our own thoughts and be able to express them more clearly and engage with the world more deeply. So I'm going to show you some things about communication styles that actually relate to creative driver styles. And we'll do that with 3 short videos. First, today, we're just going to talk about what are the basic parameters that we're looking to understand to get more insight into creative drivers. Then I'll show you the 4 styles that's expressed in. And thirdly, I'll show you how those might shift over time or due to the circumstance that you're in. So today, we're just looking at those parameters that help us see into what's going on. And I've drawn up a quadrant to help you understand where I'm coming from. I'm looking from spontaneous to controlling. So spontaneous, somebody who really expresses their feelings. Their work shows joy, pain. They want to know your joy and pain. This person, if you know them or think about yourself as I walk through these styles and these identifiers, you can probably identify them because they have pictures of family and people and their dogs all around them. Their Facebook site is full of those things. Maybe their work has lots of people, lots of energy. They want to not only express their feelings, they really want to know yours and have rapport with you. So there's this spontaneous connection through feelings. Controlling is not to do with, being a controlling person. it's to do with more a focus on things and ideas, data versus publicly expressing feelings. So for me, you see that I paint flowers, I paint people, but it's ideas that really excite me. So I paint Australian native flora, and many of you know I came to painting as an adult, but I do it in a way that I paint small flowers big so people can see them. That's my thing. It's the idea behind it, right? As well as the love and joy. You see, I looked at, when I first started as an adult just dabbling in art, I, tried some different courses or mediums, and then I really thought about it. What's my thing? When was I happiest? And I was happiest as an undergraduate science student, researching flora and fauna, and also in our family Sunday walks in the Adelaide Hills. Researching and understanding plants and animals was just my happy place. So how could I bring art and that happy place together? And obviously it was the Australian wildflowers that did that, but further for me, it was painting the small flowers big so people would see them, want to engage with them more, learn more about the plants, use them more in their gardens, so that in Australia we would have less of an emphasis on using introduced and exotic species and work with our own species. So there's a lot for me to do with ideas. Now you may have issues that are really important to you, and maybe you could bring those together. And I have seen artists, again, be lost, not sure what their thing is, and then find environmental issues are really speaking to them. And that helps give purpose to what they're doing. So for me, I'd go for walks in the Botanic Gardens. I lived nearby, I love the gardens. But everything changed when I decided to paint Australian natives, because then I would go with purpose. Then I would go, quickly, I've got to go this week because a certain plant could be flowering. The noble caper could be having its moth, should be coming through at this time of year in Melbourne, and it could be landing on the bush and I might be able to capture it. Right, so I have this specific purpose now that has made me hunt flowers all over the country and have trips specifically to find them and see them when they're in bloom. And it's so exciting and engaging. And I was so aware of it because I found myself at the gardens thinking, yeah, right, I used to just come here for a walk, but now it's exciting. So when you find that driver, then that's when you find the spark. So between expressing feelings and more focus on things and ideas, to tell or ask. Now along this axis here, we've got the work that tells a message. So think of somebody who's wanting to tell you about their passion for not having animal cruelty. Joe Fredericks does magnificent paintings that actually show the pain and difficulty to shock you to see the message, because these messages might be very opinionated, very direct. They really make a statement. So is there something that you want to really make a statement with your work? Or at the other end of that continuum is somebody who is cautious about sharing opinions publicly, and they more ask. And we've all had the experience of going to a gallery and reading the little plaque, museum plaque of information at the side, because we want to know what's the artist trying to tell me, right? I want to know the idea that they were trying to get across. But some will say, or you've seen the artist talk where they say, oh no, I just, I leave that for people to make their own assessment. I've done enough creating the work. They can make their own decision about that. They are asking people to look within themselves and engage with what they see in the work, because that is for them the really significant impact, the person experiencing it themselves rather than telling them what to experience. So there's no right or wrong in any of this, obviously. It's just a matter of asking yourself, as I've been talking, you'll be thinking, I don't know. Something will be resonating with you, maybe about the work you love or issues in your life that you hadn't thought to bring together with art, right? That say something about you. So you can see how it's just as relevant for collecting artwork, because does it say something about what's important to you and express more to the world, more about who you are, and help you process those thoughts yourself? Because that's what art gives us, that moment of clarifying and reflecting on our own values and what's important to us in life. So now that you've just had a little bit of a think first on these simple parameters, the second thing we're going to do is look at the 4 quadrants. What are the 4 styles within that give us more insight into what drives us, how we might work, and how we want to interact with our own projects so that they're really energizing and give us a spark and make us really want to get to the work. So that will be the second thing. And then in the third, we will look at how circumstance in life might shift where we are within those quadrants. So thanks for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed just beginning that thinking about getting further insight into your own creative driver styles. I look forward to seeing you for the second video. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and follow me as we go through this journey, helping you tap in to what energizes you.